In just about a month from now, this will be the site of the 2025 Pro Volleyball Federation semifinals and championship match. It's Lee's Family Forum in Henderson, Nevada, and the defending champion, Omaha Supernovas, are visiting the Vegas Thrill. Both teams looking to get back to this destination for the postseason. Thanks so much for joining us, AJ Cannell, alongside the former Florida State All-American Madison Fitzpatrick. Really glad to have you with us for this one, and Omaha has a chance tonight, Madison, to be the first team to clinch a ticket to the postseason.
And I tell you what, this Omaha team, they are hungry. They are zonal focused. They want to go back-to-back, and they're in a good position to do so. They've won 7 out of their last 8 matchups, so they're primed and ready to get the clinch tonight.
And we know who's going to help them get there. That is Brooke Nuneviller. She does it all for Omaha.
Talk about being zonal focused. Talk about being a true competitor and being so dynamic. It's Brooke Nuneviller. She does a little bit of everything for this Omaha Supernovas team. The outside has 12 double-doubles on the season. She's a true leader in the front row and the back row. She combines athleticism and a high volleyball IQ, and that's a really tough combination to stop. Ranking in the top 5 in the league in points and kills, Vegas is going to look to slow her down.
So for Omaha, you gravitate towards Nuneviller. For Vegas, it's more mix and match this season.
Absolutely. 14 of 16 players have at least one start. Vegas has got kind of everybody in there at a certain time in the season. 12 players have played in 40-plus sets. Coach Hernandez Cruz said, we have a core group of players, and after that, it's about managing the game. So based on matchups, who's hot, who's in a rhythm, he's got some depth, and he's not afraid to use it.
We think Adora Anai will break into the lineup in terms of the latest iteration for the Vegas Thrill. Let's take a look at our Ren Athletics starting lineups. Anai was supposed to get the start in Vegas's loss at Grand Rapids, which we were there for, but there was an administrative issue with her jersey number. They're still waiting for her number 14 to come in. Her 14 was the number that was reported leading into that match. So now they know that she was going to be 99. They got that signed incorrectly on whatever sheet you had to file that. That's a lot of an explanation, but the bottom line is Anai is going to play in this one and start. And for Omaha, there's a change on the outside for the Supernovas as well. Allie Batenhorst is in for Reagan Cooper in their win against Orlando 3-1. Batenhorst replaced Cooper early and played really well.
She absolutely did, and she's the spark plug, Coach Bird Kuhn called her. She said she's explosive like a rubber band. She's physical on the block. She's really good off of the bench, and she's an emotional spark plug for this team as well. So she brings a lot to this lineup.
Also saw Mac Pedraza come in early in that Orlando win for Natalia Valentin Anderson, but Valentin Anderson is back in the starting lineup this time for Omaha at setter. And of course, you're always looking at Nuneviller, who just does it all offensively, defensively, leadership. There's not much she doesn't provide for Omaha. This is the 3rd matchup between these two teams this season. They've split the series so far 1-1, including a 5-set win for Vegas back in January in this venue. But Omaha, the 2nd best blocking team in the league in per set, start out at the first point blocking Maddox.
Kelsey Payne set that block up in the perfect position. Kayla Cappy is so quick to close, pressing those arms over the net. She's coming off of 5 stuff blocks.
Now Vegas starting today as Maddox collects a kill off the edge of the block with Mary Schroll as the libero. Now recently they've been flip-flopping Tegan DeFalco and Schroll. Schroll only playing defense, DeFalco playing in serve receive, but we just saw Schroll handle that pass. So they're starting with Schroll both ways today. Willow Johnson digs Payne, but it gets over dug right to Kayla Caffey.
Good dig by Willow Johnson. That's a tough one because that ball is coming at you with so much power and so much pace. If you don't soften up your platform and kind of absorb it a little bit, it can cause an overpass.
Team's most recent meeting, March 28th at the CHI Health Center. 3-0 sweep for the Supernovas in that one. Maddox turns it down the line, and she is off the mark there. 3-1 start for Omaha. You mentioned it's 7 of their last 8 since the start of March. Omaha 11-2 since February 6th. Got off to a 2-2 start to the season. They're 13-3 since that start, in first place in the league. And because Grand Rapids lost to Orlando earlier today, that means that Omaha can win this one and clinch a postseason berth. Nuneviller gets to the floor with a pancake. tight, so Childress has to put that over. Nunaviller fits it inside the block. Childress popcorns it up. High swing for Maddox.
First of all, that pancake from Brooke Nunaviller, insane. That's what I talk about when I say she is so zonal focused. She is a never say die kind of player. But Hannah Maddox finishing that play with a nice, strong swing high over the hands of the block. She got a really smooth arm swing, and she contacts that ball really high, and she put it in the right location down the line.
Allie Batenhorst getting the start is long on the big attempt. Batenhorst played most of her college career with Nebraska, had an impressive senior season in 2024 with USC, where she learned to become a 6th rotation player at the NCAA level. Key for her development to become a future pro. Nice bump back set by Schroll. But Maddox and company can't salvage the play, so Omaha scores. And we'll see Brooke Nunaviller as the server. She's the captain. She was an all-star. Last year made the All-Pro Volleyball Federation first team. And this year has improved her hitting percentage from 191 to 258. So she was already pretty good, but she's gotten a lot better this year as Johnson tips it down.
Talk about a jump in hitting efficiency, and that is so difficult too to record those kind of numbers because she is getting a majority of their sets. The in system, the out of system, she's having to play cleanup. So that efficiency number and that jump is so impressive.
Jump serve from Hannah Maddox. Back set from Valentine Anderson, nicely done. Kelsey Payne coming through from behind the attack line.
And when you look at this Omaha team, they've got 2 players in the back row, in Brooke Nunaviller and Kelsey Payne, that can attack from the back row. So it's difficult as a blocker to know which one's going to get set. They did get a triple block up, but she was able to swing over.
In system for Morgan Stout. Adora Anai making her Vegas Thrill debut, claimed off of waivers from Orlando.
Adora Anai's first swing in the Vegas Thrill is a kill, and that is one of her favorite swings. That is her go-to. It's almost a 4-4. It's a little bit deeper, but it's that sharp cross angle, and she cuts it off so quickly.
Serving at Allie Batenhorst. Totally ready there was Childress for that dump. And Anai whiffs on that one. So if you're a setter, you've seen a lot of Adora Anai, Madison. How should setters try and set Anai?
And we noticed this a lot in practice today. I'm glad you bring this up. It's a lower set. She thrives on that quick set, a lower set to the pin, because then she's able to sneak it past the opposing block and kind of hit it closer to the net, but sharp past their arms.
Oblad into the wall, and her counterpart in the middle, Caitlin Horde, who is one of 6 different players for Omaha that competed collegially in the state of Nebraska, comes up with a block.
Bird told us Caitlin Horde is working on holding longer and being really patient. That was the perfect example of that right there. Holding, throwing up those arms, quick press over the net.
Good pass by Hannah Maddox. Back set, Willow Johnson is roofed down, and Horde has been tough to get through in the first set. That means Omaha reaches 8, which means a timeout on the court. Supernovas up by 3 in the first set. Welcome back to Vegas here on the Roku Sports Channel. Laura Bird-Kuhn in her 2nd year as Omaha Supernovas head coach. What a story last year for the former Texas A&M head coach to be named interim head coach after 2 matches had already taken place in their inaugural season, and then wind up leading the team to a league championship in their first year.
And she is such a delight to talk to. She's so esteemed in the volleyball world. Her players love playing for her. And what a cool opportunity to step in, immediately lead them to a championship, and now be a major contender in going back-to-back.
They're in first place coming in, 15-5. Vegas got off to a 7-2 start, and they've lost 10 of 11. Trying desperately to turn this around. Anai is a big addition, making her first appearance as a member of the Thrill.
And Adora Anai has a lot of range, so you combine that quick set with all of her range. Look at that set, there's no peak on it. It is very fast to her shoulder, so she's not hitting it pretty high, but she's sneaking it past the block with the range.
Anai gets a piece of that swing from Horde. Here's Batenhorst off the hands of Oblad. Childress pops it up for Johnson. Willow Johnson coming out of the back row, the daughter of the former MLB pitching star, left-hander Randy Johnson. And she's showing off that big left arm of her own.
Last time these two teams played, Willow Johnson had a lot of success. She had 9 kills, hit 500, so she found a way around the block, just like she did there.
She was a star at Oregon, actually was a teammate of Brooke Nunneviller's for 2 years. Brooke on the Supernovas side as Anai tries to go 4-4 with that angle and is a little bit strong with that swing.
So close, you can tell that is her bread and butter, that is her go-to. She finds a lot of success in that left front position, that 4 position, just a couple inches out that time.
Batenhorst serve. Childress has to run to track that down. Smart shot from Anai. It's popped up for Oblad, and that uses the block there, that swing from Oblad for a kill. Oblad's hitting numbers, she has hit below her season average in 5 straight matches. Maybe that's a good way to get her going early, get something easy like that.
Absolutely, she's only coming off of 2 kills, so I know they're gonna want to get her going early, run their offense through her as much as possible to get her into a rhythm.
Big time swing from Caitlin Horde. I mean, Vegas as a team is coming off a game at Grand Rapids on Saturday. They were blown out by 25 total points through the 3 sets, the worst in franchise history. They had their lowest hitting percentage, lowest positive passing percentage in franchise history. The opposing team, Grand Rapids, had the highest passing percentage against Vegas in the history of the Thrill franchise. So it was as rough a game as you could possibly imagine for Vegas. And we were asking Ramon Hernandez-Cruz about confidence. How does he get his team back in the right frame of mind?
Yeah, and he seemed pretty confident himself. He said, listen, we went on a run earlier in the season. We went on that really long run. We just have to do it again. We have the pieces, we have the depth. We've added Adora Anai, who's a consistent piece. So we just need to go on a run now, and it's as simple as that. So he was confident in his mentality.
Excellent shot by Maddox.
That right there is all street smarts. That is court vision. That is IQ and awareness to be up in the air, to see that 4 area open. And sometimes volleyball looks easy when it's like that.
And there is Ramon Hernandez-Cruz, who was a former Olympian on the beach, pairing up with his lead assistant, Raul Papaleo, who you see off to the side over his left shoulder in that shot. Hannah Maddox gets all of that one. Vegas back within 2.
And you mentioned the passing with Vegas in their past match. Adora Anai makes a really big difference in this category. Her first ball contact is so clean. So right there, beautiful 3 pass, set up the offense to get the kill.
Back set, Kayla Caffey, undersized middle, figures out a way to get the job done.
Yeah, Kayla Caffey is super quick. She can move behind the setter just as confidently as she does in front. She's really good off of 1 foot, and it kind of opens up her vision when she runs that slide attack.
Anai taking up space there. That's exactly why Vegas brought her in, and Maddox capitalizes. Doesn't have to worry about passing that ball and comes through with the kill.
Hannah Maddox has so much power, and when she contacts that ball really high, she's swinging up over the block and is able to get the kill. There again, Adora Anai, beautiful first ball contact, nice angle on her platform.
She was all up in Maddox's zone with that pass. Allie B hits the shoulder of Anai, returning and ducking.
I definitely just gasped because I thought that that was going to be a perfect pass. It looks like she almost did it on purpose, but what an angle from Batenhorst. I mean, that was so sharp. She gets on top of the ball so well.
Nothing you could do there. Tight, but Childress gets it to Stout over Dig. Covered by Batenhorst there, and she'll take an out of system swing right to the floor for the 6'5" rookie out of Houston, Texas.
I love the way that Bird described Batenhorst's style of play, explosive like a rubber band. And I think that that swing, even though it was out of system, it was coming from behind her, she still had her explosive approach just like she was in system.
Kelsey Payne was able to dive for that one. That's why this point's still happening. She takes a swing on the D attack, and Kelsey Payne out of Kansas with the scoring play. Omaha is the first to 16. Timeout on the court, 5-point lead for the Supernovas. Hey, welcome back to Henderson, Nevada here at Lee's Family Forum. And there is Kayla Caffey enjoying the screen time right there. In her third year as a pro, she played for Grand Rapids last season. We talked about Omaha as the defending champion in the league, but you bring in someone like Kayla Caffey, and you know, Caffey coming over from a different team in the league, Grand Rapids, along with Camila Gomez, Reagan Cooper, Caitlin Hoare coming in from Columbus. Only 2 players from last year's championship team are still on this roster. So you have 12 players on the active roster who have all sorts of motivation to win their first championship.
Absolutely amazing. And it's kind of like they're not rebuilding this season. They just reloaded. Bird put together a very talented roster, a new roster, and they're having just as much success.
Now they brought back a key piece in Natalia Valentine Anderson, who as the season went along last year, Sydney Hilly got the lion's share of the starts at center, but Valentine Anderson got a lot of starts last year, is now back this year as the starting center. And then of course Brooke Nunaviller, their captain, is back as well. So those are 2 really pivotal pieces that they brought back. But it's also the reality of women's professional volleyball is everyone's a free agent every year, whether it's here or internationally. So you see a lot of roster changes as Kelsey Payne in her first year in the Pro Volleyball Federation banks that one home.
Kelsey Payne is really effective on that D-ball, which is very important. You have to have an attacking presence from that right side of the court when your setter is front row. So whether that means your middle run behind on a slide or you have that D-ball attack, and Kelsey brings that pressure from the right side.
Averaging just about 2 kills per set this year. Johnson using all of the reach. Free ball, Omaha. On the gap set, Caitlin Hoare is long. They were gesturing for a block touch. Don't think Omaha's going to challenge.
That ball just a couple feet out. I do like that on a free ball. They're running through their middles, establishing that. Maybe opening up their outside Brooke Nunaviller and Batenhorst to a one-on-one situation later. And you've got a little bit of a cushion in the score, so I like running through your middles.
Yeah, Hoare hitting at the same efficiency as last year with Columbus, 332, but lower volume. So we'll see if Omaha can get her more involved down the stretch of the season. Graham comes in as the server, dub sub for Vegas, and it doesn't work out for them. Quick side out for Omaha.
Valentine Anderson, Bird said, is a gamer. She competes, and she's a feel, energy kind of setter. And right there just showed her athleticism, falling to her knees, but was very precise with the location of that set still.
Right in the pocket for an eye. Great pass. And Cameron Hanna as a part of the double sub with the kill, the national champion at Penn State this past season.
Cameron Hanna has the ability to beat the block because she runs a little quicker of a set, and then her arm swing is very fast. She cuts that ball off so quickly, and you see the gap in between Hoare and Nunaviller. She was able to take advantage.
Shows you the talent that is in this league. The fact that Hanna, one of the best players on a national title winning team last year in the NCAA, and she's working her way into it as a rookie, not getting the starting nod right now for Vegas, coming in as a substitute. Nunaviller thunders that one home.
Nunaviller's approach and her rhythm is just almost poetic. It's so flowy, explosive, and when she has all of that momentum moving forward like that, she has so much power behind her swing and pace behind her swing. It's so difficult to get your platform underneath and dig, especially if you don't have hands on the block slowing it down.
It's like she's just bringing so much willpower every single time as she loads up with that approach. Back row attack, Anai is dug by Lindsay Krause. And Kelsey Payne goes right through the wickets of the defender right there as Payne continues to stay hot here in the first set.
That was a beautiful crossbody swing from Payne. Watch the block set up a little inside, and then Payne was able to crossbody swing, take advantage of that sharp angle that she attacks so well.
We'll always talk about the importance as we have a Vegas timeout of spreading a team across the net. Payne on the right side, 4 for 8 so far with no errors. So if you missed it earlier tonight, also on the Roku channel, Grand Rapids fell against Orlando 3-1, which means that tonight Omaha can defeat Vegas and become the first team to punch its ticket to the postseason, which also coincidentally will be taking place here in Vegas. But for Omaha, win and they're in officially.
You know that has to be in the back of all of their minds, a motivating factor. This is a hungry team, a focused team that wants to go back-to-back. Last time they played Vegas, they had a lot of success on the attack. They hit .352 as a team, which was the second highest hitting percentage in franchise history. And kind of mirroring that, they're hitting really efficiently now, hitting .385 in this first set.
Also shows you the trajectory of the Vegas season. You're right, the second highest hitting percentage in team history for Omaha the last time these two teams met up. That's an ace for the Supernovas. Straight off the timeout, nobody played it. Lindsay Krause doing yeoman's work as a service sub. On January 17th, when Vegas was playing a lot better earlier in the season, they held Omaha to their second worst hitting percentage in franchise history. Again, that was back in January as the Vegas struggles continue. 2 more in a row for Omaha. 5-1 run, another thrill timeout.
The service pressure for Omaha is one of the areas that they were emphasizing coming into this game. One of the keys. Bird told us we want to serve tough. We want to manage their offense, take some of their offense away from them. And she also mentioned targeting the outsides in Maddox or Looper if Looper was going to play. But we've seen her target Maddox in that deep corner. She did say they want to keep it away from Adora Anai because her first ball contact is so clean and she's so experienced as a serve receiver.
On the other side, I'm curious if you're a team attacking Omaha in terms of ball control going towards the postseason. They have Nunaviller as their best passer, even though she's not the libero. If you look at the percentages, Camila Gomez is also great. So what's the strategy for opposing teams when they're serving at Omaha? I'm just thinking about towards the postseason, how it all comes together.
It's definitely difficult. You want to stay away, like you said, from Nunaviller and Valentine Anderson. Maybe you target Baton Horse, who's newer to the lineup. Sometimes her serve receive can get a little spotty, but she's usually pretty consistent. And I say all that to say this is a very talented Omaha team who's really good in first ball contact, so it's not easy. You got to serve zones. You got to move them around, move them short, move them deep, and then try to take away some of their offense.
Now, yeah, in theory, teams would target either Reagan Cooper or Allie Batenhorst, who's ever in there, as that second outside. But Laura Berg-Kuhn says she has full belief in those players as passers, that she's not really a believer in telling players to take up more space in serve receive, because she doesn't like that taking away from the confidence of her other receivers. So their plan is to play it straight up, even though they have 2 elite receivers in Nunaviller and Gomez. Just an interesting thing to keep an eye on towards the postseason. Omaha well ahead in this set right now, 23-15. Remember, Valentine Anderson is a lefty setter, can be aggressive up there. Schroll to Cameron Hanna. And that one twists wide. It's set point for Omaha.
In their last matchup, it was kind of the hitting errors that plagued the thrill as well. They hit 0-5-7 in their last match. So it's going to be really important in this next set to try and come out more consistently and point score at a higher level.
That'll go down for Hannah Maddox. Yeah, in the last 2 matches, Vegas has 52 combined hitting errors. They're averaging 7.5 hitting errors per set. You want to be around maybe 4.5. You know, when Vegas has been at their best this season, it's been plays like that. The block touch has been really crucial in some of their biggest wins this season, including against Omaha in January.
That's such a great point. That's when they're at their best, when they're slowing down the opposing attack, when their blockers are getting there, and it gives them a chance in transition to score.
Here's Nunaviller for the set. Vegas, a little bit of life here late in the first set. Hannah with a miss. They could challenge that if they wanted to at the end of the set, but I don't know that there was any clear-cut reason to with a block touch. So Ramon Hernandez-Cruz is going to let that time expire on the potential challenge. Bolt stick shows it's clearly out on the automated in-out line calls, and that's going to do it for the first set. Omaha 25, Vegas 17 at the end of one. Supernovas first place in the league, a chance to win tonight and clinch their ticket to the postseason. Came out predictably with a .323 first set hitting percentage. Looking forward to Vegas becoming the host this year of the 2025 Pro Volleyball Federation Championship on CBS Sports Network May 9th and May 11th, the semis and the finals. But what about last year when Omaha in the inaugural season of the Pro Volleyball Federation defeated Grand Rapids 3-0. Supernovas got to host the championship in Omaha, used that to their advantage. Atlanta was the regular season champion, wound up bowing out in the semifinals, and the Supernovas took advantage, swept Grand Rapids in the championship match, and split the $1 million prize.
It was so much fun. It was such dominance from the Supernovas side, and it was a sold-out crowd, a packed house. It was so electric, and I love that for the inaugural championship of the Pro Volleyball Federation. For it to go down in the way that it did was just an absolute blast and so thrilling, and I think an example of how historic it was.
First set stats are sponsored by FICO. Pro Volleyball Federation is proud to partner with FICO to champion financial literacy. PVF athletes will engage with the league and its communities to provide financial education. Big disparities in the hitting percentage and the blocks in that first set. Oh, miscommunication on the first point of the second set, and Hannah Maddox has had a lot go her way personally so far despite her team's struggle. She is now 7 for 11.
Yeah, and she showed a lot of her tools early on. We've seen some hard swings. She likes to open up with the power, but then we've also seen her play very smart and crafty. Right there, going with the tip, seeing the open court.
Kelsey Payne with her 7th kill. Now that tells you the story of the first set. The two hottest hitters after one each get kills.
These setters know what they're doing. One of the jobs of the setters is to set the hot hands and run a balanced offense. It's not easy to do, but I love the fact that they're going for the hot hands right now. Kelsey Payne hit 600 in that first set. Incredible.
Willow Johnson contributing. Originally from Arizona, so she's kind of accustomed to this general climate part of the country. It's the desert. I know you're adjusting to the desert.
It is so hot and dry. I'm a Floridian, so I don't know where the moisture is in the air.
It's a dry heat, that's what they say. And it's been hot out lately here in Vegas. The temperatures in the high 80s and 90s the last couple of days. Good touch by Nye, and Hannah Maddox with her 8th kill.
Las Vegas is coming out very calm and confident. I think they're applying more pressure behind the service line. That's really important. And then they're doing a better job at controlling what they can control and taking care of the opportunities they have in transition.
Even that free touch right there, you could just see Anai as a stabilizing force that Vegas badly has needed. Kelsey Payne logs another, her 8th.
I agree. You need a player out there that stabilizes serve-receive line, that has a good read on the ball, that knows the game and is able to read the game in real time as quickly as she does.
The last couple of years, the peaks and valleys of the Vegas Thrill, I think a lot of that's been because of their very young outsides who are still learning the game. But speaking of that, the strides that Maddox has made from year 1 to year 2 have been impressive.
And she's top of the charts in the league. Let's talk about it for a second. She's leading her team in kills, leading the team in blocks. She's top 6 in in the league in points and 6 in kills.
She was completely unknown coming out of college, started at South Alabama, and quickly became a star last year in the league. Made the All-Star match this year, the inaugural PVF All-Star match. And I just think more importantly than any numbers, the numbers are great, but she just really acts a different way this year from a maturity standpoint. Not in terms of she was always a mature person, but her ability to recycle the ball when necessary, to take something off and keep her team in the point when necessary. She just makes more of those veteran swings this season.
That is such a good point, and that's a perfect way to describe it. It's one thing to bang balls. It's another thing to see the block, be able to recycle it up, make those smart decisions. She's got a higher IQ, and she also knows how much of an opportunity this is to play pro volleyball in the United States, and she comes across extremely grateful as well.
Everyone at this level is so physically gifted, and she is one of the most physically gifted in this league. Huge strides, though, on the mental side, year 1 to year 2. She is dug by Brooke Nuneviller there. There it is, taking something off, but Gomez slid underneath. Adora Anai, good defense on both sides in this point. Difficult angle there, Maddox keeping it in play. Here is Allie Batenhorst ripping it home.
Allie Batenhorst did so much work in transition. Going from blocking to getting off the net, you've got to be quick off the net to have your full approach in front of you. Because it's a quicker set, she's able to beat the block down the line, crossbody swing, dropping that pinky.
Very competitive for that second outside spot. Cooper versus Batenhorst to pair alongside Nuneviller. With that kill, Hannah Maddox now already in double figures.
One of the coolest things about Hannah Maddox's approach is how high she contacts the ball, and it's almost like she keeps just levitating. Her vertical is such an advantage on that left side.
And they rely upon a veteran setter like Alicia Childress, the former Penn State national champion and former Olympian, to negotiate the different types of sets. Much lower, quicker set for Anai.
And that can't be easy, but Childress is as experienced as they come, knowing what their hitters need.
There's that different tempo, just line driving that outside and Anai flicking it down.
And a lot of the times, the block is either on their way down or up. They can't time it right against Adora Anai because that set is so quick, so she's able to swing low off of the arms and tool the block.
Oblad takes the second ball. There are double contacts in the pros, unlike the NCAA with that recent rule change. That was going to stay in play off the Oblad dig. Right back to Batenhorst. Good touch by Johnson. Childress pushes to Anai. Didn't get as much as maybe they would have wanted on that swing. And Payne capitalizes. I thought that would have been a spot for Anai to uncork one. She did not, and Payne responded.
It was a beautiful swing by Payne, dropping that thumb. Oh, so close, almost out, but keeping it in. She's extremely efficient on that D-ball, and we see the balance in Omaha's offense. They ran through just about everybody in that play.
Close to a kill for Childress. Is a kill for Anai off the net.
That is one of those balls that is so difficult to defend. It is so sharp and along the net.
Takes us to a timeout. The technical timeout in the second set. Vegas is up by a point against Omaha after Omaha took control in the first set. Adora Anai sends Vegas into the break with the lead. Franklin Sports is a proud partner of the Pro Volleyball Federation on the Roku Sports channel. Alongside Madison Fitzpatrick, AJ Cannell. And the future sight just about 1 month from now of the Pro Volleyball Federation Championship. Vegas, the tourist capital of the country, you could you could argue, what a place to host the 2025 championship. It's also such a beacon for club volleyball tournaments. The Match for $1 million happening here in a suburb of Vegas, the home of the Vegas Thrill, Henderson, Nevada. May 9th, the semifinals. Top 4 teams in the league will make the semis, and then the championship, the Match for $1 million. It's just single elimination. That's the excitement of it, that, you know, whoever makes it in, all you got to do is win those 2 matches back to back. You get to split up the $1 million prize. Coming off the timeout, it's a kill for Kelsey Payne. What's new?
Kelsey Payne has scored in a wide variety of ways, so defensively it's difficult to dig her because she has so much power, but then she also has the court vision and the awareness to know when to tip.
She has been close to flawless, 10 for 15, no errors, and 5 digs for the right side hitter. Her counterpart, Johnson. And now Payne looking for more. On the gap set, Morgan Stout, one of the top offensive producers in the middle in the league this year. Mary Schroll out of Arizona State to Johnson. Down the line, Willow Johnson with the kill.
Coach Hernandez-Cruz says we need to be better in transition. When they're out of system, we need to slow down their attack with the block touch, which is exactly what they just did, and then be efficient in transition. And it was a beautiful swing by Willow Johnson with that lefty. She contacts the ball really high and has all the range to drive it down the line.
Payne dug by Childress. Valentine Anderson knows where to go with these sets.
She really does. She is masterful at distributing a balanced offense and knows when to set the hot hands. Kelsey Payne with a really nice follow through there, tooling the block, driving all the way through that ball and then following through to tool it off the arms. The outside hand of Maddox.
You know, quietly coming in, Kelsey Payne had been playing her best volleyball of the season. Unsubscribe. Caffey and Payne double blocking Maddox. Well, the last couple of matches, Payne had 12 kills in each. Her best 2 performances of the season. She's nearly there in this one.
And what's cool about that is she had 2 different setters for those 2 matches, and she is able to adjust, and so are the setters, and each of the setters know exactly what she wants, so she has a ton of success no matter the circumstance.
Morgan Stout showing you what she can do, the rookie from Wichita State.
I would like to see Morgan Stout get the ball more because she is so efficient. She's 4th in the league in hitting efficiency at 346, coming off of 4 kills. I think setting her more is going to be an emphasis.
Hitting efficiency factors in hitting errors. Raw kill percentage does not. It's just pure kills divided by attempts. Stout is 2nd in the league in pure kill percentage. Only Lydia Martin, fantastic middle blocker for Indy, has a better kill percentage than Stout, who is now serving and serves Omaha out of system. Much closer second set after a blowout. Omaha winning the first. Not a good touch on the free ball by Johnson, and Maddox pays the price. In
an ideal world, that free ball is a gift, and usually you want to push that pass up to the setter and give your setter all of her options. A 3 pass means she can set her middle, her right side, or her outside, but there I think the pass just falling off a little too much. Childress had to bump set.
Should never have to bump set off a free ball. Good hitter coverage by Maddox. See, this is how an outside hitter's hitting percentage can plummet quickly. There's nothing that Maddox did wrong, but she's had like 5 swings with no realistic chance to kill in the last couple of points. None of it earns the kill for Omaha.
It's so true. I say the phrase, you get the good, the bad, the ugly, the messy, all of it, because you just do as an outside, and sometimes you get the trap set. And so it's your job to take care of it, try and recycle it back up and not make an error.
Back set for Johnson. A block touch is helpful. Out assist to Nuneviller, and that's a great set by Natalia Valentine Anderson, scooping that up out of system. Brooke Nuneviller puts it away.
Insane set from Valentine Anderson. Beautiful platform set. She had her angle right. She got it all the way up there to Brooke Nuneviller's shoulder. And the key with that, with Nuneviller, was patience on the approach and timing. That ball is coming from so far away, so you can't start your approach too early or you're going to be underneath it. But she didn't. She had perfect timing, used her momentum to get the kill.
Timeout Vegas, 13-11 Omaha. Stepping ahead in the second set. Has Vegas done anything differently so far, though, to keep this a little bit closer?
I think that they've most definitely limited their errors. They have only had one error so far in this set. Last set they had a few too many. I think they've amped up the service pressure. But the key here is going to be not letting Omaha get too much of a lead. They need to respond, keep going with that efficiency that they have, spreading out the offense, and then not get chaotic when they're being pressed. Because Omaha is going to press you. They are a talented team. So it's all about responding and adjusting whenever Omaha goes on these runs.
Well, by the way, looking back at the first set, getting off to better starts has been an issue all season long for Vegas. 2-19 in the first set this year.
And I think a little bit of that might be the youth of some of these pieces coming in, maybe a little new, a little younger. Definitely not the way that you want to start a first set, but this is a team that knows how to rally. But they're going to need to stick in it. Respond right now. Do not let Omaha get too much of a lead because they can run away with the set.
One thing Laura Bird-Kuhn was saying is that she feels like Vegas is very outside hitter dominant right now. So is there someone else who can stretch out the defense against Omaha? And we see Nunaviller go slow again.
Yeah, and so she also said that the block knows this. They're aware of the tendencies. So they're going to emphasize blocking that outside, still be patient and disciplined, but they know where the offense is run through.
Charity Looper comes in. They immediately serve it. Looper, and she whiffs on that one. Now, Looper, first of all, it's just great to see her back in there.
Yes.
She got hurt in the first set at Grand Rapids. What looked to be a serious ankle injury had to be helped off. Ramon Hernandez-Cruz says the truth is Looper just hasn't actually been 100% all year. Came in with a nagging injury from college, makes a good diving hitter coverage play. Johnson takes it down the line, but twists that one off the mark. And this is the run that Omaha was looking for after Vegas started better in the set. 6 straight points by Omaha to go from down 1 to up 5 going in to the timeout. 16-11, Omaha creating that separation. Vegas trying to dig deep here, but Johnson misses that one. Timeout. So a couple of things, just quick feedback. I think everything's going great. Yeah, like I was saying there on talkback, during the timeouts, you could just lead me wherever you want to go. I'll react in timeouts. Because I feel like it's always pretty tough going back and forth. And going into break, unless it's like a really good play, or like a replay like that, I don't feel like I need. Yeah.
I think we should go Kelsey Payne if we have to do the interview with Omaha. For the interview with Omaha?
Kelsey
okay.
Payne.
Okay.
All right, thanks, man. Can't say enough good things about Kelsey Payne through the first couple of sets. Give us her numbers.
In the first set, 6 kills, no errors, hit 600. In the second set, 5 kills, no errors, hitting 625. Talk about flawless. That right there is flawless.
You know, prior to 2 matches ago, Payne had not reached double-figure kills or digs all season. A couple of matches ago against Grand Rapids, she changed that, had 12 kills and 14 digs, both a season best, then followed that up with another 12-kill match against Orlando. And she is 1 kill away from another 12th spot here. So Omaha's been searching for that right side hitter this year. They've been using the rookie Emily Londot a little bit out of Ohio State as well, but Payne is asserting herself the last few matches. And Willow Johnson, a much-needed kill, the side out for Vegas. Part of the theme as well, Kelsey Payne is one of 3 former Kansas Jayhawks on the roster, with Toyosi Banjo and Reagan Cooper, as well as their head coach, Laura Bird-Kuhn, who is one point the National Assistant Coach of the Year at the University of Kansas, named by the ABCA. get the dub sub here. And the ace from Graham, that is Carly Graham's second ace of the season.
And that's what you want out of a dub sub. Leave the game better than you found it. Come in, make an immediate impact, do something good, and then leave the game better.
Just want to be eco-friendly for the game.
Absolutely.
That would be legal if it goes on the right side of the antenna, which I think it did. Oh, and Anai was trying to take charge there. And it winds up being a double contact with some traffic between her and the center, Graham.
And that's one of those things where you really want Graham to take it, call her out, call her off. I did hear her say, mind my mind, that is difficult because Adora Anai is new to this team. Maybe communication hasn't been as established as much.
I was laughing though as you're saying it, because as you know, they were teammates last year. So that'd be the one person you would think that wouldn't be the issue.
It's a great point.
But it happens. It's volleyball as Looper comes up with a kill.
It's really good that Charity Looper is back out there on the court. She's second on the team in kills this season. She's been pretty consistent for them. She also is phenomenal in defense. She's one of my favorite defensive players to watch, especially coming from college in Louisville. She's incredible in the backcourt.
And a dig, there it is. Popped it right up. Everything Payne is doing has been working.
And I think Hernandez-Cruz is maybe a little frustrated right now with the lack of aggression from his attackers. Hannah Maddox has a great swing. No, not Hannah Maddox, excuse me. Cameron Hannah has a great swing.
The other Hannah.
But she took something off of it, roll shotted it. I want to see them continue to be aggressive.
Graham is being aggressive, an ace and a dump kill since she came in for Alicia Childress.
I love it. You yourself can be an offensive weapon. If you're running a 5-1 offense, beautiful. She didn't jump. She stayed on the ground and still got the kill. Really well done because she's in the back row.
She cannot contact the ball up high as a back row player. That is a near kill, and eventually the whistle comes in and touched the floor. Ramon Hernandez-Cruz was primed to challenge that. But how about Charity Looper, a floor swing for the kill? You rarely see that.
And a little off-speed shot like that, if you can get on top of it and still have that snap, it drops really shallow right in front of you.
Batenhorst beats the block out there and trying to keep separation. Omaha back up 3.
It's a good response by Omaha. One of the strengths of Omaha is that they don't allow these teams to go on these massive runs. They're good at adjusting, responding, and only letting a team get 2 or 3 points.
Why are they good in that regard, would you say?
I would say mental fortitude. They're really strong with the mental side of the game. Because a lot of times when you're getting pressed and a team is going on runs, sometimes it's difficult to respond, but it's just the mental side. So they stick to what they know and they get it done.
Patented Adora Anai swing, dug by Camila Gomez. And I gotta like what you see so far from Batenhorst today. I haven't looked at her numbers lately, but to me it has been passing the eye test. If she's hitting close to 250 with 5 kills. And for a rookie, she looks pretty comfortable out there. Timeout called by Vegas.
For sure, hitting 267, only 1 error, 3 digs. She's also been really good in serve receive, very calm and collected. And she also provides a big block. She's doing a good job at pressing, being physical, and having that to her advantage. She's fairly tall, so she's doing a good job on the block and slowing down the opposing attack.
So Vegas has exhausted its timeouts, down 20-16. Ramon Hernandez-Cruz trying to right the ship at this stage. Started 7-2. At one point, briefly, they were in first place, Madison. That's hard to believe. Right now, they're in 6th place and tied for last with Columbus in terms of lowest point scoring percentage in the league.
I would just absolutely love to hear what he's talking about. I think a couple seconds ago, he was talking about the block. You could see him moving his arms, acting like he's pressing on the block. So look for them to make some blocking adjustments. Omaha Supernovas are swinging pretty hard down the line. Allie Batenhorst has found a lot of success down the line, so maybe some adjustments there. Maybe talking about getting your hands quick over the net, big press, and staying disciplined. Because right now, the Supernovas are getting into a rhythm offensively.
Ace serve, Natalia Valentin-Anderson.
It's difficult to ace a libero. You've got to make that serve very short because these liberos, especially Schroll, being as talented as she is so quick moving from that backcourt forward. So that was a beautiful float serve. It died at the last second.
Challenge in the middle of this point. It's going to freeze the point. Where did it come from?
Vegas is challenging net touch.
All right, that's where it came from. That is Tong Win, the R1. Landry Homsher is the R2, which this year in the PVF, nothing new to see automated in-out calls by both six, but the new thing is the R2 sits at the scorer's table to directly assist with challenges. Most challenges are resolved in close to 20 seconds.
And that's a big theme with the PVF this season, is making these matches as efficient and time efficient as possible. And I love what they've done with the speed of the game. It's really quick and fun to watch, very entertaining.
We want you, whether it be in the stands or watching on your television or device, to just watch as much volleyball as possible, not waiting around. That's the key. So the challenge is for a net touch. Was there a net touch? I guess they're challenging Batenhorst here. And there wasn't a net touch, according to both six. So unsuccessful challenge from Vegas. They have one more now in the set. And because they blew the point dead, it becomes very costly. They had not actually lost that point yet. But with the challenge blowing the point dead, if you don't win the challenge, you lose that point in that situation. So now 22-16. Well, that might be a rare play that's just not possible for Payne to kill. Just about everything else she's put to the floor today. Here is Batenhorst off the block and down for Allie B. Yeah, she was a player that was so widely embraced in college, whether it be for University of Nebraska at Lincoln, or even when she came to USC, she had a whole new fan base there that really got behind her in her final year.
And I would say she brings a massive fan base to this Omaha Supernovas team. Nebraska fans still absolutely love her. It seems like the whole country just rallies behind her. Really, really cool story as a rookie to come in and have that kind of fan base.
5-0 run for Omaha. And doing it at the right time here late in the set. Anai sends that off the block and out. And Childress will go back to serve.
It's a late swing from Adora Nye. That's another reason why she's difficult to block, is because she's swinging almost on her way down. It's super late, so the block is either early or late, and she's able to tool because they're still moving with how late she swings.
Oh, and I put that down on the Vegas side unintentionally. It looked like maybe a deflection, had to have been a deflection off the defense, but Horde thunders it home. Doesn't matter. Point Omaha, and a set point now for the Supernovas.
Omaha was repping out that set over and over in serve and pass today, the quick. And at one point, Caitlin Horde said, it may not look like I'm there, but with how long my arm is, I am there. And that was beautiful.
Was that as weird a touch as I thought it was from Anai during that point?
Super weird. I've never seen that happen.
I thought she almost unintentionally dunked her own team. I don't know if it actually did make contact with Omaha or not. Either way, 6 more set points here for the Supernovas. And Anai will serve. 8 aces on the season. Again, this is her first match as a member of the Thrill after coming over from Orlando, and she picks up her 9th ace of the season.
Really well-rounded player. 6 rotations, extremely experienced in those 6 rotations in college and now in the pro. She's got a nice flat float serve that moves at the last second.
Brooke Nunneviller Childress is just so good defensively at the setting position. Looper knew what to do. She took something off it. And Vegas stringing some points together at the end of this set to at least get some momentum going forward.
Looper is finding a lot of success with this off-speed roll shot that she's got going on right now. The block on its way down, and she was able to tool.
Another chance to end the set. Payne does so. The call is that the ball landed in. Vegas does have one challenge remaining, and you would think that they would use it. I think they're going to.
Vegas is challenging center line fault.
There might be something there. Here's the question, though. If the ball hit the ground before the feet crossed the line, it looked like a foot crossed the line. But if the ball hits first, the point is over as soon as the ball hits the floor.
This will be a close one, for sure.
Because she's been rocketing everything to the floor quickly, including that. So the rule is with the center line fault, the foot has to be entirely across the line. From that one view that we saw, I think the foot did entirely cross the line. We'd have to look at that again. So that's one box you'd have to check. And then number two, you got to match it up with the ball and see if the ball hit first before the foot crossed the line, which would negate any type of center line fault. While we're waiting on the bolt 6 call, let's take a look. Yeah, the foot's definitely across. There is a foot all the way across. Now, this is an unconventional type of call. Great job by our crew getting this look. That's close. Did the ball hit first?
Good camera angle.
Well, hold on. Is the foot entirely across the line? See, yes, but not until after the ball hits the floor.
Yeah, the ball hit the floor first. Wow, such a fast arm swing.
So there you go. No center line fault. How about bolt 6 matching it up? There's the ball on the floor. There's the foot not over the line yet. And Omaha wins the second set, 25-20 on another Kelsey Payne kill. Kelsey Payne with no errors through the first 2 sets. A career best in the PVF, 13 kills on 20 swings. That's good for a .650 hitting percentage with 2 stuff blocks and 6 digs. Allie Batenhorst had 6 kills, hit .312. For Omaha as the second leading kill getter through the first couple of sets. But let's go over to Madison with Kelsey.
6 kills, you're hitting, 13 kills, let me give you that. You're hitting well over 600. What are you seeing offensively to give you those kind of numbers right now?
That's crazy. I think we're just really in system. I mean, our serve, receive, and our defense is just really putting our setter in a good position, and she has 3 options, so it makes it easy for me.
You've taken the first 2 sets. What's important to emphasize if you want to get the sweep?
Definitely serve and pass, the first contact, getting them out of system, making sure we're in system, and just keeping the playing field even.
Thank you. Good luck.
Thank you.
Kelsey Payne, she was the go-to player, no doubt, through the first couple of sets. The former star in Kansas originally grew up in Austin, Texas. It is her 3rd straight match with a career best effort in terms of kill total, and there's still plenty of match left to go. Vegas hoping to extend this a long ways. Omaha looking for the sweep. Coming up. Hey, welcome back to Vegas, where Omaha is up 2 sets to nothing, but you know how potent the Vegas Thrill are when they are facing a deficit. They already have 3 reverse sweep victories this year, and we are so happy to have the person in charge of the PVF, Jen Spicher, with us. Good to have the boss in the house. And tell me, Jen, why did you choose Vegas and the league choose Vegas as the site of the PVF Championship in 2025? Because we're so excited to see the championship take place here.
Well, you know, Lee's Family Forum has been terrific for us. It's a fantastic venue. It's the perfect size, and it's the entertainment capital of the world. It's a destination city, and you know, we've got 4 fantastic teams that are going to come here and compete for a match for the million. And what better city to do it in but the entertainment capital of the world?
What was one of your favorite memories from the inaugural season championship?
Oh, wow. Handing that check over. Handing that check, that $1 million check to Brooke Nuneviller was pretty special.
Tell me about the presence that Vegas in general has had in the league for the first couple of years, because I've mentioned before a few times, it's always kind of a beacon for club volleyball tournaments. There's always a lot going on here in terms of the youth volleyball world for Vegas. To me, it's just such a great fit to host the championship this year.
Vegas has been a Cinderella team. I mean, they're tough every single night. They may not have the best record, but they've been, how many reverse sweeps have they done? Right?
3.
Yeah,
3 this year.
A lot. And so they're fun to watch. They're exciting. The fans are really into it. I mean, I come here and I'm super enthused about the fans here in Vegas. And so it's just a great market.
You want to sit and call some volleyball with us for a few points?
Oh, wow. Okay.
You played?
A long time ago
Take my spot.
when they didn't require a vertical jump.
So we got Omaha through the first couple of sets, has been flexing some control. And now the first point
There goes Willow.
Kelsey Payne has been the hot hand through the first couple of sets. Sophie Davis checking in for Vegas. Got the start last time against Grand Rapids, making her second set appearance of the season.
I thought Natty had that. She just went a little too early. That was awesome.
I like it. Good analysis. And Davis played collegiately at James Madison. Well, Ramon Hernandez-Cruz told us before the match, Madison, that if they were going to struggle again early, he was going to mix the lineup again. Valentine Anderson to the outside, Nuneviller. Good hitter coverage this point. And it winds up working out for the Supernovas.
And to your point on that, AJ, he said it just depends on matchups. Who's hot? Who's in a rhythm? What is working well? They have a whole lot of depth on their team, and he's not afraid to plug in pieces where he sees fit. I have a question for you, Jen. What is it like seeing all the depth on all of these teams? I mean, these players are national champions, All-Americans. Some of them are Olympians. What does that say about the talent that PVF has?
Well, I think the talent is exorbitant, and you know, on any given night, anybody can come off the bench and have a record evening, and we've seen that time and time again with many of these teams. And so I'm just excited for these girls to be able to continue to showcase their talents in the United States and in front of their family and friends.
Absolutely.
And they certainly are.
I think it's noticeable. I mean, last year was an amazing inaugural campaign for the league. I think the league clearly has leveled up in talent this year, which is extremely impressive because they've added a team. So you have to have a lot more depth with an expert team as Nuneviller gets roofed.
I just want to say just such a proud moment. I feel like a proud mom. Berkeley Oblad, when I first talked to her about being in Vegas and playing in Vegas, she didn't think she could do it, and look at her.
Oh, I love that.
Oh, she's doing
Goosebumps.
it. From right here in Henderson, Nevada, Kelsey Payne calling for contact. They're looking back at the coaching staff to challenge this call, and the buzzer sounded. So I think a challenge is coming.
Omaha is challenging block touch.
Showing these athletes for so long, you've had to choose whether or not to quit volleyball or to go play overseas, to follow your passion or to make a living, and now you can combine all of it here in the United States.
Yeah, she wasn't playing at all, and you know, she called me up and she's like, "Hey, I've heard about this thing. What do you think?" And I said, "Well, you know, absolutely. I'll send your information over." And now she's starting, and she just roofed one of the best players in Pro Volleyball Federation.
She started Coronado High School right here in Henderson, Nevada. Tell me about, now that we're seeing one of these challenges, Jen, Volt 6 technology, what in your view has that brought to the league over the last couple of years?
Volt 6 has been amazing. I mean, obviously we've been able to advance the technology of the league, advance the play, advance the speed. You know, we're continuously looking at everything, and obviously we made a change this year with the R2, and we're very seriously looking at, you know, every single time we've had a challenge and how much time is it taking, and is this bettering the game or is it not? And you know, we'll continue to look at that next year, and you know, we think the Volt 6 technology is absolutely top notch, and that's why we signed an exclusive with them for the next 5 years.
That's really exciting. You see it doing its job right there. Clearly a block touch on Oblad, and Omaha was correct in asking for the challenge. Another kill though for Oblad. Another
There's my girl,
positive point
Burke.
on the slide.
Love Burke.
She's going off because she knows you're on the call. She's really good behind the setter. Off of 1 foot, she's got that nice, strong follow-through. She contacts the ball really high, and she's very physical.
Really grew into a role as last season went along, and has been the clear-cut starter all year this year. Right back to her on the slide. One of the best backcourt players as an outside hitter, Brooke Nuneviller. Missed connection there from setter and hitter, so Vegas evens it here in the third set.
And that can be one of two things. Either Kaylee Caffey came in too early, or Valentine Anderson set it a little too high.
This time, Caffey scores behind the setter.
What position did you play when you played?
I started off on the right side, moved to middle, then was a power hitter on the left side my junior year, and moved back to middle.
So having played yourself, how impressive is it to see just the athleticism that each of these positions hold?
These girls are absolutely amazing. The power, the work they do in the weight gym, you know, the weight room, excuse me, is just amazing. They're just so dedicated to their craft, and it's obvious every single night, night in and night out. I mean, look at Alicia, 36 years old. She's got 3 kids, and she just, you know, put one down. I mean, she's an amazing athlete. They all are. She
won most inspirational player last year in the league, and I think no one had any argument with the result of that. It's interesting, some of these awards you have a Rising Star Award instead of Rookie of the Year, that I think, correct me if I'm wrong, is kind of supposed to go to a player who maybe was unexpected or wasn't known as much coming into the league. Reagan Cooper for Omaha won it last year with Columbus.
Well, you guys have, I'm sure, heard my story about Reagan Cooper in the draft. She wasn't even aware we were having a draft. Jimmy Burrow called her dad, who they coached together, and, you know, she was sleeping. She was taking a nap, and, you know, they drafted her, and she wasn't going to play. She certainly wasn't going to go to Europe. And look at her. She was the rising star of the league last year. So that's exactly what that award is meant for. It's not necessarily the Rookie of the Year, although certainly she had the stats for that.
It's a little bit in between there. It could go to the sort of Rookie of the Year, but it's about more than that, which I think this league is about more than just volleyball, as that is an illegal touch. And that's going to take us to a timeout. Jen, thank you so much for taking the time to join us.
Thank you for having me. So excited. We'll see you in the championships.
We'll see you there. 8-5, timeout on the floor. Vegas in front in the third. Sports is a proud partner of the Pro Volleyball Federation on Roku Sports. Just had a chance to talk to Jen Spicher, the CEO of the Pro Volleyball Federation, about why they chose Vegas this year as the site of the 2025 championship, and get her perspective on all things Pro Volleyball Federation. Just love where this league is going down the stretch run in year 2 of the PVF. Big swing from Horde coming off the timeout, but Vegas scrambles. Batenhorst dug by Childress. Anai, huge swing, off blocker defense from Payne. Another Payne dig in the front row. Dig to attack for Payne. This is going to be an Anai out of system swing. Does well with it. Locates the setter. Gomez to Payne over her shoulder, and that didn't make contact. So it's a hitting error. I believe the first hitting error of the match for Kelsey Payne. It is, and Vegas wins the point.
And it was beautiful defense from Kelsey Payne throughout the entirety of that rally. You said it, off blocker defense. She slid into that 4 position, dug up that swing by Adora Knight twice. Just contacted the ball a little too low, couldn't get it to go over the net for the kill.
Childress serves Batenhorst. Batenhorst uses hands, and despite being served out of system, still comes up with the kill.
Batenhorst is really good at playing cleanup and swinging and out of system. She's patient on her approach, and she doesn't let the ball drop on the set. She's contacting it really high. She's beating it to its peak and not letting it drop.
Batenhorst was born in Omaha before winding up, originally starting at Nebraska, then finishing her career in college at USC. Schroll slides underneath, Payne gets another chance, and it finds its way to the floor. That was one Vegas would have liked to have kept up.
Most definitely. I think that that's one that they wish that they could have back, because the block touch was beautiful. It was well timed. It allowed their defense a chance to scoop it under. I just think maybe they were on their heels a little too much.
Even when Omaha gets down, it looks like there is no concern, no panic, and they continue to find ways to stress Vegas out.
And that's the sign of a team that knows how to win, that has the mental fortitude to, even if you're down, you still have the mindset of no bother, no biggie. I'm going to keep playing my game. I'm going to make up this lead, and I'm going to still win this set.
Willow Johnson converts for the Vegas Thrill. She was signed late last season, debuted April 20th, Johnson did with San Diego, had a good run. 2.6 kills per set in a starting role, including a season-high 22 kills against Vegas last year. Doesn't it always work out that way? It feels like when you play really well against someone, that's who you wind up joining at some point. Omaha wins that one.
Lindsay Vanderweide did that with San Diego, and she played against Orlando, got 31 kills, and now she's playing for Orlando. So sometimes that's just how it works. Brooke Nuneviller is happy to get that block. It was a beautiful dig by Childress, who was right down the line, but Nuneviller sealing the net with all of that press on her defense.
Lindsay Vanderweide, who is, by the way, the reason why Omaha has Allie Batenhorst as Sophie Davis picks up a kill, because Vanderweide was traded by Omaha to San Diego last year for a second-round pick. So with the extra pick in this past PVF draft, Omaha selected Batenhorst. Davis, ace, her first career ace.
Give her that first career ace to the top of the tape. Beautifully done, nice flat serve. And a lot of times when it contacts the top of the tape, you are on your heels. You're expecting a different trajectory, and that totally changes it. And it goes down 9 times out of 10.
She nicked it again. Anai digs, tight for Maddox, nearly impossible there. And it's an Omaha point. It's good to see Sophie Davis coming in and contribute a little bit. She looked like against, in the debut for her against Grand Rapids, things were moving a little quickly out there in her debut as a rookie, but she has bounced back coming in as a sub today and had some good moments. Huge block touch. Reverse bump set from Gomez to Nuneviller. That looked pretty.
Nuneviller is so good in transition with the patience in her approach, and then you can see it in her eyes. She was going for the high hands. She's swinging nice and high, and she looked right at the ref. She knew it was a touch. She wanted that point, and it was a beautiful follow-through on the swing as well.
Vegas has kept Nuneviller in check today. Omaha winning this one handily so far, despite Nuneviller hitting only 100. Diving play by Valentine Anderson. And Nuneviller inching that hitting percentage back up.
Beautiful dig by Valentine Anderson. She's really defensive as a setter, very scrappy. She's got good quick twitch moves. And then that was Brooke Nuneviller being extremely smart. Watch the block set up inside. She sees all of that line open and can drive it with the crossbody.
That snaps a 3-0 run at miss serve.
Vegas is happy about that. Omaha got some momentum, went on a little run there. Vegas is recapturing the lead with that miss serve.
Perfect pass. Ball didn't hit the block. 4 contacts. Vegas up 2.
With a back row attack, if you let the ball drop a little too much, it's easier to hit it into the net. I think maybe Allie Batenhorst there just letting it drop, not hitting it at its peak, which is what she does almost every single time.
Batenhorst handles the pass here. Maddox sends Caffey home.
That was textbook blocking by Hannah Maddox. You're supposed to turn your palms, turn your arms into the court, angle it into the court. That way you don't get tooled. That way you block the ball into the court. It was beautifully done.
Well, Vegas is gaining steam going into this timeout with a run of their own. A Nye off the hands and out, 16-12 on a 4-0 Vegas run going into the timeout. The Vegas Thrill leads 16-12 in the third set. They have to win the third set to send this to at least the fourth. The current standings, 8 teams in the league. Top 4 make the postseason. Omaha in first. 3 games in the loss column ahead of Atlanta right now. So 1.5 games, you would consider that ahead of the standings. But, you know, most importantly in that loss column, a very healthy lead. Orlando winning earlier today, so they're a half game ahead of Indy now for the final postseason spot. Hitting percentage by set, things have flipped in the third. Vegas at 261.
Vegas's block has really come alive. They're doing a better job at containing Omaha's offense that's really balanced. They're holding Brooke Nunaviller to a 143 hitting efficiency. Same with Kelsey Payne, 143. In those first 2 sets, Kelsey Payne hit 600 and 700. So a big difference maker here is Vegas slowing down the attack of Omaha.
Four-point advantage for Vegas coming out of the timeout. Make it 5. Oblad, I think, got a piece of it. If not, either way, it's down on the Omaha side.
Coach Hernandez-Cruz says we have to score points on our block. This is a huge facet of our game that we need to be on against Omaha, and it is surely heating up.
That one might have just been off the net there. Nunaviller converts there.
Omaha needed that. If they're going to start chipping away at this lead, it starts with a clean side out. And you got to go back, amp up the service pressure. Valentine Anderson in the front row, but watch for Nunaviller or Payne in the back row on the attack.
Oblad is roofed. Allie Batenhorst got over there.
That was a beautiful way for Allie Batenhorst to get the block because she dove her arms into the angle at the perfect time. So it was really well executed, diving at the right time and sealing off that crossbody seam.
With some of the talent, both at middle blocker and at right side in this league, it's important to have someone like Batenhorst at 6'5" out there. Loading up in transition. High set to Maddox. Another good example of hitter coverage by Omaha. Lower set, faster set to Maddox. Batenhorst walking into an impressive swing out of system.
What to even talk about after that rally. Some really good coverage. Batenhorst with the nice high swing, tooling off the inside block of Vegas. Now they're only down by 2. That is striking distance.
A proactive timeout by Ramon Hernandez-Cruz here. Still with a 2-point lead, but wants to put the brakes on any potential run.
I think important to note, Allie Batenhorst, only 3 kills in this set. 2 of them have come in the past couple of points, so she's starting to heat up, and that's a big part of their offense, that if they can get her going against this block, they can most definitely come back to take the win.
If Vegas can continue to extend this match, you got to understand that they're so good in the 5th set. They're 9-2 all time. And they already have a reverse sweep victory over Omaha this season on January 17th. So we know that they've struggled to get off to good starts, but when Vegas has won, it's usually been something super dramatic comeback style, including once against Omaha already this year. all PVF first teamer from last year, Nana Viller. An MVP candidate this year. Hannah Maddox stops the 3-0 Omaha run.
And it starts with the pass from Adora Anai, who really stabilizes this serve-receive line. And Hannah Maddox has such a strong, fast arm swing, is able to sneak it right in front of Camila Gomez.
11 kills, hitting close to 200 for Maddox. Batenhorst 4-4 to perfection.
That's insane. Valentine Anderson diving on her knees, bump set over her right shoulder. It was a beautiful angle of a bump set because it allowed Allie Batenhorst to be led. It led the attackers so well so she could have her momentum and then still have all of her angles.
Catching a sliver of the line, Allie Batenhorst. Krause coming in as a service sub, making an impact. Not the first time so far tonight.
And that's exactly what you want out of a serving sub. Come in, show some aggression behind the service line, and it does not get any closer than that inch, tagging the line. Beautiful placement.
Krause with a back row swing, no chance against the triple block.
And I think that set might have been a little too low. It really rushed her. It didn't allow her to have her max jump, and it kind of shut off her angles. Looked like she was really reaching for that set, and with the triple block in front of you, it's really difficult to score around it when that set is sped up like that.
2 aces, though, for Krause as a service sub. She came into the match with just 1 on the season. Here is Batenhorst. Allison Mayfield, by the way, the service sub for Vegas on this point. Thumb down right there for Anai, and she is off the sideline with that swing.
Adora Anai, 3 kills in this set. That's her first error, but she's also gotten a block, so 2 errors on 11 total attempts. That's one that Vegas Thrill most definitely wanted.
Valentine Anderson has a presence defensively. Here's Anai. In again.
And what was interesting about this rally, or at least the end of it, Kelsey Payne pulls her arms down. Watch this replay, watch her on the block. Going up, she's gonna pull her arms actually down because she does not want to get used with the high hands, because that's what it looked like Adora Anai was going to do.
And I found the inbounds. The cat and mouse game. Sophie Davis sets Johnson. That's going wide right there.
We could see what Willow Johnson was trying to do there. The block was set up a little bit on the outside, more so towards the line. She saw all of the angle open, but I think just didn't get enough on top of it to get that snap to allow it to go in.
Mayfield stays in there. Handles that serve receive. And Johnson just powers it off the hands.
The Thrill has done a good job at keeping the Supernovas at least 1 to 2 points away. The Supernovas have not tied it up recently, so they're doing a good job in transition, responding, adjusting, and then staying aggressive. That was one of the problems from the earlier sets. They got a little timid as the match went on.
Vegas has been going no bro. Mayfield has been in there, right, for where the libero would normally be playing.
Yep, that's a great eye.
I was trying to figure out, whoa, Payne wallops one and actually contacts Willow Johnson, who I think is okay, thankfully. I saw Vegas do this once, I believe, earlier in the season, at least. It's not the first time they have done it. Very unconventional to go no libero.
And you know what it means? It means that you trust the players that are on the court, you trust their defense and their serve receive, and you don't feel like you need one out there at the moment.
Hannah Maddox converts here in the red zone, which means you're both teams in the 20-point plus margin, trying to get that race to 25. We're here late in the set, the red zone portion of the set. Vegas has the edge, trying to send this to the fourth. Now a different middle rotates back in Sophie Davis. Omaha sides out with Nunaviller. Now they're going to put the libero back in. Due to the rotation, they had to sub Mayfield back out. And Schroll will come in here for Sophie Davis to play back row.
And historically in matches past, it's been Tegan DeFalco as their serve-receive libero, Mary Schroll as the defense libero, but it seems like Mary Schroll's playing a little bit more serve-receive this match.
Deceptiveness from Childress, and Maddox deposits. Vegas is inching closer, 2 points away here in the third.
Insane, love that route, and the height disparity is big here. Hannah Maddox going over the little bit more undersized Valentine Anderson.
Difficult serve by Johnson. Valentine Anderson, get out of here with that effort. Maddox matches it. Uses Valentine Anderson's hands, tough to recover back into the play, and a set point for Vegas.
Maddox only had 1 kill until we got to the red zone, and then she recorded 3 after that to give her 4 on this set alone. Talk about a time to heat up.
Interesting also, Laura Bird-Kuhn with a cushion in terms of sets, letting her team play through this a little bit. They have not used a timeout despite this reaching set point. They have a nice cushion right now in first place, something they can afford to do in a situation like this, but Vegas will win the third set. Alicia Childress has the kill, and this is going to at least 4 here in Vegas.
Vegas did a way better job at taking care of the ball, hit 225 in that set. They were a lot more efficient, more well-balanced, and a lot more aggressive later in that set. They also limited their errors, which plagued them in the first 2 sets.
Well, Vegas was down 2-0, otherwise known as exactly where you want the opponent. They've been the comeback team all year in the PVF. They are 9-2 all-time in 5 setters. They want so badly to get this to the 5th set. We're going to the 4th. So the overall numbers still favor Omaha. They are in front 2-1, but the most recent set going to Vegas, the hitting percentages pretty much flipped from those overall numbers compared to what you saw in the third set.
And what's interesting about these stats is, yes, the Supernovas are out blocking the Thrill, but 4 out of 5 of those blocks for the Thrill came in that third set alone. So their block really locked in, and I think that was one of the difference maker. They put some pressure on Omaha's offense. And then Hannah Maddox, you see on your screen, she found some heat late in that match, late in that set. That really helped.
Batenhorst off of Davis, out of play. And Anai was the server. Omaha first ball side out. Natalia Valentine Anderson out of Caguas, Puerto Rico. Vegas' head coach Ramon Hernandez Cruz. He's a great player in Puerto Rico, along with Raul Papaleo, his lead assistant. So there's Puerto Rican flavor on both teams. And Valentine Anderson has multiple aces tonight.
And that's Valentine Anderson executing the game plan. We were made aware that they were going to target Hannah Maddox on the serve.
Right back at her. She handles it that time. Going to Willow a lot as this match has gone along. Mary Schroll sets Willow Johnson to the floor. It goes right back down. And Omaha coming out quickly here in the 4th set.
Caitlin Horde is very dynamic, and she moves quickly side to side. She's there, she's close, she's pressed. She does a good job at getting to her pin blockers and shutting off the seams.
Caitlin Horde has had 4 blocks or more 9 different times in a match this season coming in, and she has 3 tonight.
And she's first in the league in blocks with now 70. That's a whole lot of blocks on the season. She's really been a cornerstone of this team's net defense.
Sophie Davis, 2 aces. Is there any advantage if there's less of a scout on you as a server coming in, or just one of those things? She comes in, this is one of her first appearances of the season. I saw you roll your eyes at that take.
No.
She got 2 aces.
No, I was just going back and forth in my head. No, I don't think people usually scout the servers. It's just one of those where you're prepared for any serve that you might see. So yeah, I just think that she's got a really good serve, and it's dropping at the right moments, and she's doing a great job.
That's why I asked. I wasn't sure. So it's just one of those coincidences. She comes in one of her first appearances of the season and has a couple of aces for the Thrill. And now they'll side out, get it back to Willow Johnson for this serve. Serves at Batenhorst, an average pass. And not going to happen there. Anai couldn't control it enough. And point Omaha.
Omaha's been really effective in side out. I think they've sided out very consistently to start out this first set. Valentine Anderson is doing a good job at spreading out the offense. Now we've got Kaylee Caffey back in the middle, and watch Kelsey Payne on that right side. She's been phenomenal.
16 for 33 with 1 error and 9 digs for Payne. Something different from Batenhorst. Thought you had to play that with 1 hand to keep the point going. Here is Payne. Mary Schroll gets underneath. This has to be 2 hands from Willow Johnson. Tip toward Childress, so Schroll takes the second for Maddox. Dug by the middle. Just under control enough for Batenhorst to save. Free touch. Anai handles it calmly. Here is Maddox down the line off the block. And that's one of those instances in the middle of a difficult point. Anai just taking charge on that free ball touch.
Calling off the libero, which is something you don't normally see, and just going in so confidently, pulling out those hands. She's got a lot of control over her head with her open hands. And then it was a beautiful set, nice in system. Hannah Maddox with that follow through, a whip of an arm.
Yeah, she had to reach around her head a little bit to make contact. Great swing from Maddox. Great decision from Nunneviller.
Nunneviller has all of the tools. She's got the power, she's got the sharp swings, the deep corners, and then she also has really good court vision. She can see that open campfire that's open. And the key to being a successful outside is mixing up your offense and having that kind of variety.
Started out colder. She's now up to 222 with 10 kills and 8 digs. So Nunneviller close to a double-double.
Nunneviller is a double-double machine. She's got 12 so far this season.
And she also, I have not looked at every single one, but she's passing 57% in system. That has to be the best pin passing percentage, positive in-system passing in the league. It's close to the best, period, in the entire league.
Absolutely, you can't serve at her.
Yeah, it's like 2 liberos out there, and Nunneviller is a former libero at the national team level. So there's some serious ball control, whether it be Nunneviller or Anai on the outside. Hitter coverage from Payne. Valentine Anderson jumps and takes a swing. On the slide in transition, Davis and long. And a challenge. The buzzer sounding quickly. Let's hear what Vegas is challenging.
Vegas is challenging block touch.
Okay, that's what I would have guessed.
Yep. And honestly, I like that challenge. It was close. The Supernovas have a little bit of momentum. They're going on a run. We talk about this a lot in this league, but it could be a timeout and it's a challenge. It can be both of those things. It gives you a second to take a beat, talk with your team, stop the possible momentum. It is a close one, though.
You could also be looking at a floor touch here as well. Vegas, I believe we heard the R1 Tong Win specifically say they were challenging a block touch. And Bolt 6 says there was no block touch. Appreciate the effort from our crew to also get some great looks in advance of that Bolt 6 look, which shows no block touch. So now 1 challenge remaining in the set for the Vegas Thrill, which is down by 3 as they put the point on the board. Timeout on the court. Omaha by 3 and leading by a set.
Ooh, like it.
All right, so this is good stuff. Back in studio from our producer Trevor Hayes pointing out it's the battle of the 11s. Kelsey Payne and Hannah Maddox, each wearing number 11, each with sky-high numbers. And now in the middle of the fourth set here in Vegas.
Two powerhouse 11s playing really well tonight. Hannah Maddox was especially good in that last set. She had 3 kills late in the red zone, and I think that's one of the big reasons they were able to power through to get that set win, whereas Kelsey Payne has been good all night long. So consistent. From the first set hitting 600, from the second set hitting 700. Vegas did a better job at slowing her down in that last set, but she's still in it. It's been really consistent all night.
I had a friend in college who was very superstitious about the number 11. Because anytime you hear number 11 or see number 11, you had to make a wish.
Oh, I like that.
So,
I just did it.
Was that it? Yeah, that was the pause.
Only took me a second.
All right, I will work hard to grant whatever wish that was after the match. As the genie, self-appointed. Batenhorst the kill.
Batenhorst has so much power in her approach. She's so explosive. I love what Bird said about her being explosive like a rubber band, because it almost looks flexible, how quick she is, how explosive she is, and then how fast that arm swing is.
Well, she compared that to Reagan Cooper, who's a higher jumper and a little bit wristy with the way that she hits the ball. And she was also Laura Bird-Kuhn, Omaha's head coach, comparing the different styles of Natalia Valentin Anderson at setter and Matt Pedraza. And she went position by position, pointed out that Omaha, they can switch up the tempo and the rhythm of a match by making substitutions in a unique way this season, because they have different style of players at these different positions. Gives them flexibility. Here's Maddox in transition, hard swing. Gomez the dig. Batenhorst hits it high, no contact.
Batenhorst was reaching for those high hands, trying to grab some fingertips. Beautiful set by Brooke Nuneviller. That's another thing that she does really well. Out of system setting. She's got a clean second contact on the ball. And I love what you were saying about Bird-Kuhn. She also said Kelsey Payne and Londa. Those two opposites bring so much difference to that position. So really impressive, the depth and the diversity that each of these positions hold on this team.
Because what does that do? If you're making a switch like that in the middle of a match, what does that do to the opponent?
Oh my gosh, it disrupts their defense. It disrupts their read, the game plan, the strategy. You're completely changing the way that you're going to score points now and your mode of scoring points, and it's very difficult to adjust yourself after that.
That's some of the success that Vegas has had this season. When they've had success, they've made those adjustments by putting new personnel in there, like Sophie Davis tonight. 4-0 run for Vegas.
Sometimes it's just about taking initiative, and when you combine that with seeing the open court, Sophie Davis so quick with it, really smart shot.
Maddox crushes that one down the line. One of the most impressive swings we've seen tonight.
Hannah Maddox is one of the flashiest attackers I have seen in a very long time, and it's because of how high she contacts that ball, the snap that she puts on it, the follow-through, and then the angle she can create for herself.
Momentum in the hands of Vegas. Childress pancakes. But the next touch wasn't as good. Valentin Anderson puts that one away. By the way, we were talking about Sophie Davis, Allison Mayfield, along with Davis, were both members of Omaha last year and the championship winning team. So a couple of players on the Vegas side going up against their former team. Both Mayfield and Davis were in a reserve role last year for Omaha. Didn't play a ton. Poor touch off the tip from Maddox, and she picks up her 17th kill.
That's one that the Supernovas wish they have back, but give a part of that point to Mary Schroll. Beautiful angle of her platform. It's all about the way you angle it into the court, keeping that ball in play and in system. She did that so well on such a difficult attack.
She played 4 years, including a redshirt year at Loyola Marymount. Schroll did. That is out. That's too far for Caitlin Horde. Then played the last 2 seasons in her collegiate career. Schroll for Arizona State. She was the 2024 Big 12 Libero of the Year. She got to play, I think, in 3 different conferences during her college career, because she had 1 year in the Pac-12 with Arizona State. Then, as I said, Big 12 Libero of the Year with the conference realignment. Kelsey Payne just finds the right spot. It's been Payne versus Maddox tonight.
That was a beautiful high roll shot. Good vision by her. Seeing that open court open, Adora and I running there, just not able to get her platform underneath it.
Double-double for Payne. That was her 17th kill. She's been going kill for kill with Maddox. They each have 17. That is close, and it's out. So it's 18 kills for Maddox. Good decision by Anai to let that go.
And Hannah Maddox really had to hang in the air on that set. It was a little high, kind of over her left shoulder, so she hung nice and high, reached for it, and got the tool.
Remember, if this gets to a 5th set, Vegas is 4-1 in 5 setters this season. Omaha calls timeout. 15-11 Vegas lead on a 9-2 extended run. I believe that's the first Omaha timeout of the match, because we mentioned they didn't use one in that 3rd set at all, despite trailing late.
Exactly. I think Bird was leaving it up to them. There's some natural leaders on the court. There's some natural coaches on the court who know how to adjust and follow the game plan and what to do, but she has had enough, and this is one of the longest runs that the Vegas Thrill has gone on so far tonight. They've got the momentum, they've got the service pressure, and they're being really aggressive on the attack.
Thrill have momentum within the match, but Omaha has momentum big picture, 7-1 in their last 8 matches, and after a 2-2 start, 13-3 over their last 16. Since the start of March, Omaha's lost just once. They've only had 1 losing streak all season. That came back in mid-January and did include a loss at Vegas on the 17th. Again, what's at stake here today, Madison? Omaha knows that if it wins, it's going to clinch a berth to the postseason and be back here in Vegas for at the very least a date in the semifinals on May 9th.
If that's not something to play for, I don't know what is. That's got to be a motivating factor.
And the $1 million championship match on May 11th. After the semis, out the timeout, Omaha inches within 3. A chance for Laura Bird-Kuhn to slow the match down a little bit, because the next Vegas point, assuming they get to 16 first, will be the technical timeout. Good pass by Anai. Here is Berkeley Oblak. Block was there. Anai flies in, back row kill, despite Valentine Anderson going into the front row, seating. Adora Anai is waking up for Vegas here in her debut. Her numbers picking up as this match has gone along. Timeout on the court, and Vegas down a set, but up by 4. We're back in Vegas. The Thrill have controlled things starting in the 3rd set and going forward, trying to send this to a 5th set. Omaha can win and clinch a postseason berth. Regardless of the result tonight, they will be in 1st place in the league, at least by a couple of games in the loss column over Atlanta. Vegas, if they can win, they'd be the only team with a winning record against Omaha this year, so that would be impressive. Currently 1-1 coming in.
And this is a win that Vegas most desperately wants and needs. They've lost 9 of their last 10 matches. If they are ever going to be in the conversation of the playoffs, which Hernandez Cruz says he thinks they will be, but they have to go on a mandatory run right now, just like they did at the beginning of the season.
It's the Maddox jump serve coming out of the timeout. So an Omaha team timeout, then a technical timeout at 16 points, and that did not make contact. So even though it was covered by Vegas, it's a hitting error for Maddox and 4 contacts. And a 3-point margin, 16-13. Kelsey Payne, the server. In system, Childress to Anai. That delayed whip of an arm coming in late there as she waited an extra half beat. Oblad and Childress double block Nunaviller.
It's a textbook block. It's so well executed, so disciplined. Nice angle of the hands, pointing it back to area 6, angling those hands into the court to shove that ball down.
Now Oblad back to serve. 9 aces coming into the match. Close, but not in there.
It's a good serve, very close. I think the Thrill has done a really good job at amping up their service pressure in sets 3 and 4.
Yeah, even ratio between 5 aces, nearly even, and 6 service errors for Vegas. Omaha with 5 aces and 7 service errors, so it's a very clean match so far in terms of putting on service pressure and not missing. Davis on the slide is rejected.
Kaylee Caffey is also coming off of 5 blocks. So is Caitlin Horde. Those 2 middles combined for 10 of the Omaha Supernovas' last 14 blocks in their last match, which means that they are up in the air. They are getting there and getting it close, match in and match out.
4 of those Nova's service errors have come in this set, though. Here's an eye. Faster tempo, and Batenhorst blast down.
Batenhorst ate that set up. She loved that one. Good momentum on the approach, really powerful tempo set, avoiding the hands of the block and swinging down the line. Childress lined up a little bit inside, and Batenhorst with that crossbody swing, whip of an arm, took advantage of that line.
You could feel her almost saying with that swing, feed me more of those. She did like that set, a 3-0 Omaha run, and a timeout taken now by Vegas. This Omaha team, it's interesting the journey they've been on this year. They made all these changes in the offseason, but then being in first place for a good chunk of the season, you see a lot of roster moves, some jockeying, different players being claimed off waivers, that sort of thing, more often from the teams that are struggling. How about this? It is April 10th. Omaha has not made a single transaction since February 7th. Not even a practice squad to active roster move. They moved Krause back to the active roster. Kendra Waite went down to the practice squad on February 7th. Omaha has had the same 14-player active roster since that's very rare in this league.
So rare, and what that communicates is that Bird feels confident in her positions, the talent of the positions, and then also the depth that she has behind the starters. There's no holes to fill. There's no roles that need filling with the Supernovas team.
Anai converts coming off of the timeout.
Anai loves that 4-to-4 swing, but she also has the range and the capability to go high over the block. It's a delayed swing. Block is on their way up, and Anai takes advantage high over the fingertips over Valentine Anderson.
Monster back row swing. Kelsey Payne, the right side hitter, taking a swing on the pipe or Bick from the back middle.
Talk about not letting a ball drop. Kelsey Payne is reaching, contacting that ball at its highest point, and then can find the open court through there. She's got really good vision when she swings from the back.
Krause already 2 aces today as a service sub, but Lindsey Krause in her rookie season out of Nebraska with a service miss, and she'll check back out. Camila Gomez comes back in to man the libero spot. When you see a service sub in this league with limited substitutions at the professional level, it's almost always going to be for a middle blocker. like the NCAA where you can serve, or you can sub a little more liberally. There's some differences, some variations. Omaha calling for an illegal touch on Sophie Davis with the open palm. Doesn't matter. It is more from Payne.
I love the way that Valentine Anderson runs this offense. She set a couple to Peyton Horse and then decides to go with the back row to Payne, who's had a lot of success on the D-ball. You've also got Brooke Dunaviller on that bit coming up, so that puts a lot of pressure on the block.
Johnson booms one, but too strong, and Omaha has come back and evened the score at 19, heading quickly toward the red zone, as close as it gets in the fourth set. Vegas needs to win to extend. Valentine Anderson serves at an eye. It's Maddox. They were ready for Maddox out there. Vegas sets left side a lot. Big block touch against Payne there. Maddox in transition, whips it down the line again. She's been turning more and more of those shots line, adjusting to the block, and puts Vegas in front by a point.
And that's what makes her difficult to defend against. Let's say she's cranking some in the angle, and then the block makes the adjustment. Well, then she has the range to make the adjustment again with all of that line open.
19 kills, 10 digs, 300 for Maddox. This time to Johnson behind Childress, and 2 in a row for the Vegas Thrill, scoring a point there on the serve of Sophie Davis. Davis has been a point scorer today.
She most definitely has it, and this is an area of the game that Hernandez Cruz says needs to amp up in its efficiency. Is transition. They're doing good with block touches.
Their rookie middle from James Madison. They've been scoring points on her serve. Until there, Payne, doesn't matter where you put her, it's going down.
Kelsey Payne has been phenomenal tonight. We'll get you her numbers soon, but she's just incredible. That was her 5th kill in this set alone, hitting .333, only 1 error, but so far on the night in general, hitting .422 with 21 kills. Are you kidding me?
Her previous career best in the PVF was 12.
Wow.
If you reverse 12, it's 21. Close to doubling the previous career high, 22 for Kelsey Payne. Back and forth in the 4th set.
Smart setting decisions from Valentine Anderson, setting the hot hands. The one that is finding ways around the big block of the Thrill is Payne.
She had 1,500 career kills collegiately at Kansas. Maddox, no touch. Omaha is ahead in the 4th set.
That was a close call. I almost thought that was in. Hannah Maddox is taking these big, brave rips in the red zone. It's really impressive to watch. She doesn't take anything off of it. She's extremely confident as an attacker, and she's swinging with a whole lot of force every single time.
But can Vegas break through here, losing 10 of their last 11? Well, they have a bunch of different contributors who have broken through at the NCAA level, specifically from Penn State University. The connections run far and wide across Vegas, including a couple of people who aren't pictured. Kendall White, who has been on injured reserve all year, actually won the title last year with Omaha as their libero. Been a big loss for Vegas this year. Russ Rose serves as a consultant. He's a consultant for Vegas, the all-time NCAA wins leader. And of course, Cameron Hanna, the most recent national champion on this list, with Alicia Childress and Ramon Hernandez Cruz, the head coach. I believe, off the top of my head, I don't believe Kendall White won a national title, but I think everyone else on that list has a national championship with Penn State.
Absolutely, and Cameron Hanna is coming off of one. So talk about a whirlwind. To win a national championship, she played on that national championship stage on ABC. She was absolutely incredible. She comes off that, she gets drafted to the Pro Volleyball Federation. She played in an all-star match. Talk about a whirlwind for Cameron Hanna.
We've seen her at times in the double sub today. Another miss by Maddox. That's 2 key hitting errors. No, sorry, pardon me, that's it. In there.
And with that, that's her 20th kill.
And a key one, 22 apiece. flexing.
I attribute a lot of that block to the service pressure. It was a beautiful serve. It kind of took out a little bit of the offense for the Supernovas. The block was able to get there and make a play.
(23-23) on the Nunaviller kill.
When a ball is coming that quick at you, it is so difficult to pass. Adora Knight is stretching her platform out there, but if you're not out there quicker, she's just gonna beat you to the ball. It caught her a little high.
Who will have set point? It'll be Nunaviller and the Supernovas with match point. 24-23 Omaha.
Brooke Nunaviller is relentless. The thrill has really honed in on her, and she has responded with a whole lot of confidence and aggression late.
Schroll takes it. Maddox with a swing. Huge swing to fend off a match point. It is deuce in the fourth set.
Childress is sending almost every set Maddox's way, and she's carrying that load so well for this team. A middle hasn't gotten set in a very long time with the thrill, but Hannah Maddox is taking care of business. Now we'll see who they go with Hannah Maddox going to the back row.
Double sub now at deuce, something Vegas has done a lot of this year, including in this match. And Lauren Jardine instead of Hannah. It's Jardine's first appearance of the night. Hannah jump serve. Hannah Maddox jump serve. Now Kelsey Payne. Jardine gets down there for a dig on her first touch. Anai missed it. She missed it. That did not hit the block. We've seen Anai a couple of times come up a little bit errant on a few of those tips. And she just swatted that one down into the net. Omaha is back on match point. And Vegas quickly will unwind the dub sub.
And it's a shame, too, because Vegas gave themselves a chance in transition. That was a really good opportunity to go up by one.
And it's the star of the match, Kelsey Payne, serving for Omaha. Schroll, good pass. Anai to keep it going for Vegas. Anai has to touch it again on the dig by Nunaviller. Here is Brooke Nunaviller. It's in, and Brooke Nunaviller clinches a postseason berth for Omaha.
What a way to end it, too. An exclamation point kind of swing straight down the line. The set coming from none other than Mac Pedraza. Beautiful, precise set in the perfect location, and Brooke Nunaviller ate it up.
That's a good job. You know, hat-tipping Pedraza, who had not played in this match until this sequence. So the substitutes, just like you would expect in the Pro Volleyball Federation, playing a key role, Madison, late in this match.
Absolutely, she brings just a little bit of a bigger block than Valentine Anderson, and when you've got Adora Anai up there, you want to make one big stop. You only need one more point. You know that Anai is going to get one of those sets, at least in transition, so I love the decision. And then the fact that she can come in, make an immediate impact is so impressive, and it speaks wonders of Mac Pedraza.
Omaha Supernovas have officially clinched a postseason berth. They improved to 16-5 because of the fact that Grand Rapids lost earlier today. Vegas losing to this one, and Omaha winning. They have clinched a postseason berth. The first team to clinch a trip to Vegas. They'll be right back here in this building for the playoffs on May 9th, the semifinals, May 11th, the championship. If they can advance to that point, that will be in Vegas for the second ever PVF semifinals and championship. Once again, Kelsey Payne, the match leader in kills with 22, hitting .396 with 11 digs. One of 5 different players for Omaha with double-figure digs, including Natalia Valentine Anderson with 44 assists and 15 digs to lead the entire team in that category. Brooke Nunaviller, also a double-double, hitting .242 with 13 kills and 12 digs. On the Vegas side, in the losing effort, Hannah Maddox was fantastic. 21 kills with a .295 hitting efficiency and 10 digs. Adora Anai had 11 kills as well for Vegas. Let's go to Madison.
All right, Coach, you were the first team to punch your ticket to the playoffs. What does this communicate about the momentum and the dominance that your team has been showing in this season?
It's just the way that this team competes, and I keep saying they're special, but it's evolved. It's been an evolution throughout the season, but it's how they play for each other, really, and it's the chemistry on the court and the way that they have learned each other, and just like Kelsey Payne today, like her and Camila have both come on in the last week or two, but it's just their ability to know each other and get that comfortable that they can perform that way.
You've won 8 out of the last 9. What impressed you the most about this win tonight?
The finish. I mean, we were sloppy in some transition balls, but the way that we just finished, and we had to earn it. We had to earn it. Vegas is a good team. All these teams are good, but the way we had to earn it on the road.
Thank you, Coach. Congrats on a big one.
Thank you.
They earned it indeed, become the first team to clinch a trip to the postseason and maintain the 3-game cushion in the loss column ahead of Atlanta for first place. Atlanta, remember, won regular season first place last year. Omaha hoping to win both the regular season and defend their postseason crown this season. For our entire fantastic crew, producer Trevor Hayes, director TJ McGinnis, that's going to do it just about from Henderson, Nevada, where Omaha takes care of Vegas in 4, a final score of 3-1. PVF action on Roku continues Thursday as the Vegas Thrill head to Indy to face the Ignite at 7 Eastern.